give us a wave.
You can see that we've got some people on, but I can't see who they are. Gemma?
Hello, Gemma. Stucky household. Hope you're all good.
Been buying any more plants, Gemma? Hi, Lindsay. Hope you're okay.
Buys plants to get her out of mischief. So she's.
Is that your excuse then? Because I said you're quite similar, you and Gemma, with this plant fetish. You should go plant shopping together.
Yeah.
That would be quite dangerous, wouldn't it?
It's getting to the point there's not much there. I am actually starting to think about.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. I'm actually starting to think about doing something out the front. With
Because they're running out of space in the back garden, so now it's like, right, what else can I put on?
Well, it isn't. It isn't. It just during this lockdown, it gives you a bit of joy. I guess that's the word. And yeah. So if anybody's got any plants that they're wanting to get rid of or donate, push them in my direction. There we go.
Anyone watching that needs a photography.
And that's
photography
Dave
session.
Fletcher. That's
Dave
just waved.
Fletcher. Axbridge Photography did a lovely shoot with us yesterday. And the pictures that we received this morning were so nice.
Yeah.
We've never had a photo shoot together, apart from obviously our wedding.
Our wedding, yeah.
And we weren't overly happy with our photos from our wedding day.
Well, we kind of had two. It was weird because we had two. Well, we had a main photographer, and then we had this lady that
did a photo booth.
Done the photo booth,
She
and then
offered
took some extra photos, and she actually ended up being better than the actual photographer.
Yeah.
But there you go.
But just to say that Dave's Fletchers were so lovely. We were so pleased with them this morning. We all sat around and were having a look at the pictures, and we were really happy with them. So, if anyone needs any photos,
Dave
family
is
shoots,
your
anything
man.
like that,
Weddings.
Dave is your man.
Any family occasion is certainly
So quick,
the one to talk to.
quick little shout out there for Dave.
Yeah, is the one to talk to.
And I will upload
definitely.
some of the pictures. I'm going to order some today, so I will upload some of the pictures that we had done. So that.
Well, they say shop local and all that, and he's local, isn't he? So support local business. He doesn't do it full time, which we realised yesterday. But do you know what? He's way better than some of the guys that are out there that are doing it all the time. So well done, Dave. We appreciate you.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Definitely. So there we go.
Yeah. But I hope everyone's all right. Hope you've had a good week. We're certainly getting ready here for our week or week and a half off. We are kind of feeling a bit like we're
we're building towards that direction.
Our petrol in the tank is running out a little bit. As some of you are probably aware, we are pretty constant with everything that we do.
We need a break.
So we are getting ready for a break.
Get ready for a break, but there is a next level that's about to kind of kick in. I will talk about that a little bit towards the end.
There's not a great deal that we can say at the moment, but if you keep your ears open in September, we'll be able to say a bit more. But there's some exciting things.
If you notice that on my personal page, if you follow that, I did try to put it on the Fusion Family page, but it didn't quite work.
Oh.
So maybe you need to do it.
Yeah.
Social media. So I had the meeting this week with somebody that was awesome, was brilliant, speaks our language and understands our journey and where we're at and what we want to do and what we want to achieve. So I think by the looks of it, we will partner with this guy and what he's doing on a national level.
It won't mean that we lose any of our identity.
No, it won't lose our identity. It won't lose what we do. It will just
add to it.
It will just add to it, and it will certainly magnify what we do in this area. So it's really exciting. So they're coming back down in September for a few days. So we will just
we can work out some logistics.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to work out.
paperwork and all sorts of wonderful.
So once all those things are kind of in place and we've got a bit more to say, then
we'll do an announcement.
We will do an announcement about how that is actually looking. But there's a whole load of plans and there's a lot of ideas that are kind of oozing out from us, and really what God has kind of, I think, told us, instructed us, shown us, kind of given us some initiative and ideas that's bursting out of us, creativity.
And we have a passion for things and we want to see them happen. And I think it's our time.
It's our time.
It's our time.
We've been in this.
Watch this space.
We've been in this type of work a long time, so we feel that here is where we're at, and here is our home, and there's a lot of work to be done here. So we are certainly going to see that happen. So that's good. So, like I said, can't say much more than that.
So much we want to say.
So much we want to say, but like I said, if you are on my private Facebook page, and there is some photos on there, if you click on that, and you'll be able to see what the other guy is kind of into, and you'll quickly understand that it's very much where we're at and where we're journeying. So you'll be hearing more about that anyway. So
very exciting.
It is exciting. It's good. Definitely. We've been on a buzz, really, all week about it. So good. I mean, it happens.
Some more exciting personal news is that I'm actually going to see my mum for the first time since February. My mum's coming to stay with us.
Yeah, and
at the end of this week.
We're going to.
So that will be really, really good.
We'll see my mum and dad at some point.
Yeah, and hopefully see my dad at some point.
Yeah. At some point that will happen,
but yeah, we're seeing my mum because she's coming to stay with us. Yeah. So really excited.
Don't quite know when. I'm hoping towards probably the end of September to see my parents. So yeah, but your mum is coming over
to stay.
Yeah, so that'd be nice.
That'd be nice. I think my mum's watching.
I think she is.
So yeah. Oh, good. Anything you want to say today?
Well, I am, but you're gonna.
Oh, I'm singing first.
Singing first, aren't you?
Oh well, there you go.
I think that was the idea, wasn't it?
Because we're so rehearsed, we always know what we're doing. Oh gosh. Well, this song I picked because why did I pick it? I think I'm struggling at the moment to pick a song. Because I've done so many every week since lockdown on here, that it's hard to pick a song. But there is a song some of you might have heard. It's gone viral.
Yeah, it has it.
Called "The Blessing."
We did share it ages ago.
I think we did share it on our page, right? Oh gosh, months and months ago now.
Before it even went viral.
But I'm going to attempt to sing that. Some bits are quite high, so bear with me. But I am going to sing it. But I just want you guys to absorb the words of it, which is just may God's favour be upon you and your families, and look after you all, basically. So I'm going to sing that. Hopefully.
While you're singing,
Jonathan's going to disappear. I'm going to attempt to do this technical bit.
we'll be back.
And hope that it comes through here. There we go.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Like that song. It's a good one. Don't know what you think about prayer, or do you pray? Any of you? I know some of you might. I don't know if you've been to a Church of England school, or maybe a Catholic school, or maybe, I don't know, come to Sunday school when you're younger, or maybe your parents will pray with you, or have prayed with you, bedtime prayers. Don't know if you do that with your kids, that type of thing. But I don't know what you think about prayer. What do you think about prayer, and how it works,
what it is,
and what it is, and how important it is? And prayer at the end of the day is just a communication between you and God. I think sometimes we make prayer much more complicated than it actually needs to be, because at the end of the day it's just a conversation. It's just like picking up a telephone to your best mate and saying, look, this is where I'm at, this is what's going on. I'm sure most of you will probably speak to a friend through the week, especially most of the time when you're actually feeling a bit stressed. You're speaking to your parents or family if you're feeling upset, or you feel that you can't talk to anybody else about it. You'll express your feelings. So when we pray to God, there is that side of it, that He is a friend that hears, and God always hears, and God always answers our prayers. I'm going to come back to that in a moment with a short story that I've heard. He hears everything that we say. There's also the other types of prayer that a lot of people kind of, I think, fall into, and I just want to say that God's not a magic kind of genie that we go to God with a whole list of, can you give me this, can you do me that, can you give me the other, because it doesn't work that way. If you went to your parents and went, I want this, I want £1,000, and I want, blah 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 blah, rattled off a list, they're a bit like, oh goodness me, it's a bit overwhelming. Our boys always write a Christmas list. Funny enough, they're already starting on that. And they kind of present that, and you look at it, and some stuff on there, you think, oh my goodness, this,
But we do always tell them to just dream big and put whatever you want down.
Exactly. and who knows? And I guess, in a sense, God is a little bit like that. Dream big with Him, and ask Him big things. But also there is a side of realism, and there is also a side of, God's not, to go to Him with a shopping list of things. It's out of a relationship and out of knowing Him. Like I said, He is Father God, so He loves us and wants to be in a relationship with us. And so when we want to build our relationship with someone, we talk to them. We speak to them. So prayer basically is the building up of your relationship and telling Him exactly where He knows your heart, He knows where you're at. But letting Him know and vocalising, because it's very important to say stuff and say where you're at and vocalise that stuff, and pray with faith, pray with things that aren't even there, because God's provision and plans and love for us is massive, and there's things that He wants to give us that we haven't got a clue about. I've learned that I guess this weekend on Friday, when I was talking to this guy about all that we want to do in Cheddar and Somerset and all that Fusion wants to do, and it's exciting to hear about other people across the country that are on the same boat as us, doing the same thing. But he just said, there's just got to keep asking God and keep speaking to God. God's going to bless you. God's going to give you much more than you can imagine. So that's exciting. But I just want to share a quick story that I sometimes share in assemblies.
It's on holiday club as well. You know about that?
I don't know. I'll share the story and then you'll know it. Yeah. Amy Carmichael was a young, she ended up becoming somebody that travelled out into India as a missionary, helping other people, basically. But when she was younger, she had a prayer. She had a prayer that she wanted a different colour eyes. She had brown eyes, but she wanted blue eyes. Her mum had blue eyes. And she used to sit in church when she was a little girl, and she always used to hear about how God would always answer prayer. God would always hear us and listen to us. So that's how she was influenced, and that's her belief system, because that's what was talked about even at home. And so she really wanted blue eyes. And so one night time she got herself ready, brushed her teeth, went for the whole process, the bedtime prayers, knelt down, prayed and said, God, I really want blue eyes. I'm fed up with my brown eyes. Please, Lord, give me blue eyes. Give me those blue eyes. I really want them. I know that you always answer prayers. I know that you always answer me, because that's what the man at the front of the church always says. So she prayed it. She got really excited. She tucked herself into bed and went to sleep. In the morning, she was full of anticipation. She was really excited, because she's like, this is going to be it. I'm going to go into the bathroom and look in the mirror, and I know what I'm going to see. I'm going to see blue eyes instead of my brown eyes. So she was really excited. So she ran into the bathroom and she opened up her eyes and looked into the mirror that was in front of her. And as she opened up her eyes, she screamed and she cried. She's like, ah! In fact, screamed so much and got hysterical that her mum came running into the room. She was fuming. She was furious. And she said to her mum, God's a liar. Because obviously when she opened up her eyes, what do you think she saw? She saw brown eyes. There wasn't any blue eyes. Brown eyes staring back at her. She was fuming. She said to her, Mum, I prayed and I asked God for blue eyes, and God always hears and God always answers. But yet he hasn't done that for me. And the mum kind of sat her down, calmed her down and said, look, when you come to me sometimes and you ask for things, probably when you ask for cookies and sweets before lunchtime, what would my answer be to you? I hear you, but what would my answer be to you? And so she thought about it and she said, well, you'd probably say, no, Mum, because it's not right. And the mum said, well, there you go. God's sometimes like that. God will sometimes, even though he hears us, will think, you know what, maybe that's not the right thing for you at the moment, and the answer's no. Well, of course, later on, as, like I said, Amy grew up, she went out to India and worked out in India. This is going way back in time. And obviously being out there, she really wanted to help people and get into the community, I guess, like kind of what we're doing. And she really wanted to be at their level, but she found it really difficult because she was a Western woman with a white face. No one would talk to her because she wasn't a local. She wasn't one of them. She wanted to rescue people. She wanted to rescue children out of temples and all the rest of it. But no one would talk to her. No one would serve her in the marketplace. No one would even go anywhere near her. And so she got quite upset about this, and she thought, well, what am I going to do? And then she had this amazing idea. She thought, you know what, I'm going to dress like they dress, like all the local people dress. And she decided to kind of darken her skin. And there wasn't any tanning stuff at that time, but she got some coffee with some water and she made her skin darker, and she wrapped the sari around her. And just as she was going to go out of the door, one of the people that she was working with said, wow, it's amazing. You just look like one of the locals. Isn't it lucky that you've got brown eyes? Because if they're any different, everybody would know that you're an imposter. And at that moment there, in her mind, she thought back to all that time when she was a kid, of when she prayed that prayer, for blue eyes. And now she realised why God said no, because way down later on, she needed those brown eyes, to help her in what she was doing, but it was way down the line. And at that point there, people would talk to her because they thought she was a local. She learnt the language, and she did go on to do some amazing things in India and save loads of children and help the poor and feed the hungry and all the rest of it. You know, sometimes God says no. But do you know what? God always hears our prayers, and sometimes it's not the right time or it's not the right thing. You know, and I find that sometimes frustrating, and I'm going to be dead honest with you, because we're praying for things and asking for things, and we're believing for things, and some things that we pray for we see happen and come to. Now there's some bigger things that we're asking God for. Obviously, you know, we've shared about infertility and a baby and all that type of stuff, and we're still asking and believing God for a miracle because we know that He's heard. He hasn't said no. Maybe it's not the right time just yet. I don't know. So I just guess I wanted to share with you, do you know what? God knows your heart. God knows where you're at. And prayer is a powerful thing. You know, start to open up your heart to Him. Start to share with Him. Start to pray. And you never know what is going to happen in your life through that. Sometimes God says no. Sometimes things aren't right. Some things aren't the right time. Sometimes things aren't the best for us. Because you know what? God wants the best for you. So prayer is about our relationship with God, and it's about communicating to God, and it's about talking to God, but it also is a powerful weapon, because some amazing things happen in the heavenlies when we start to communicate and we start to talk and we start to share, and God hears those things. Sometimes we don't always get a response, and I think sometimes it's hard because sometimes it's really quiet and we don't always hear God. And we don't always get a response, and we don't always get a miracle, and it doesn't always happen straight away. But, you know, that's where faith comes in, and that's where it kicks in, that you've just got to stick at it and believe in God, that He loves you, that He cares about you, and that some of those things are going to happen in your life. You know, we've really been believing, and we stuck our neck out near enough this time last year when we stepped away from where we were working. We were still in Cheddar. We moved here for a job. We've shared this before, to come and work for a church, and it just didn't work out for us. And God said to us, because this is through communication and prayer, it's time to step out. You know, I felt God's been speaking to me for a long time, since I was a kid, since I was young, about doing some of the stuff that I'm doing now, and it's just out of sheer obedience and knowing that God's got it all under control that we stepped out and we're starting to do what we're doing. And since we've started to do what we're doing, we're seeing blessing, and we're seeing things happen, and we're seeing people's lives transformed, and we're seeing our work grow. And like I said, this meeting on Friday was a real blessing. It came from somewhere that we didn't really expect. And so, you know, there's still things that have got to kind of be worked out. Life's tough, isn't it, at times? And things are really hard. And it doesn't come easy. You know, when we love God and we step out and we believe in Him and we want to live for Him, doesn't necessarily mean things are just going to click into place and it's going to be easy straight away. It doesn't. In fact, sometimes it gets a little bit harder because, again, that's where faith kicks in. But out of that, you'll grow. Out of that, new things will come. And I guess I just wanted to share with you as well that, you know, keep on believing, keep on daring, keep on stepping out, have faith. Step out in new areas in your life, and as you do that, it's going to be hard, but you're going to see growth. Some of you need to step out into new areas in your life that you are scared of doing. Maybe that's a job, maybe that's going back to night school, maybe that's changing your career. You know, my sister, who's, no, I can get the age right now, 50... 58. She's 58 years old. She's just what do you call it? She's been teaching and whatever. Decided that she wanted to become a nurse. She's been wanting to do it since she was a kid, and she was scared of doing it. And so now she's just made that decision and gone to study. This is out in America, it's slightly different out there. Gone to study and train as a nurse to what do you call it? It's a new career. So some of you out there need to do that. Some of you have been parents and single parents, and you've given your life to your kids, and now you've come to a point when you're a little bit old and think, well, what's for me now? Yeah. So, I just want to encourage you to step out into some of those things. Whatever's on your heart. Talk to God about some of that stuff as well. Share with Him your inner turmoil. Cry out to Him. Sometimes we don't have other people that we can turn to and talk to. And even sometimes when we do, we feel that we can't do that. And God's a faithful God that we can talk to Him and tell Him things and share with Him. And He does listen, and He does hear, and He does bless us, and He does look after us, and He does grow us. And some of it is that we've got to step out as well and do. So I guess it was just a quick encouragement, really. We are going to post something else up, some videos and stuff that you can watch. That's about prayer, basically. And it's just about other people talking about it, and there's some other leaders talking about prayer and stuff. So if you want to watch that in your own time, would encourage you to do that. And with all of this stuff, the things that you want to ask us about and talk to us about, then feel free to do that. Talk to us, give us some feedback, let us know where you're at, because we are here to help. And I guess the encouraging thing more and more, since we've started to do our work in the community and out and about, that we are meeting people, and we are seeing some amazing things happen in people's lives, and we're encouraged by that. So keep going for it, keep strong. And there's some of you this week that just need to keep strong, keep doing what you're doing, and God's got you. God's got you in His hands, and He's going to look after you, and He's going to bless you. Anything that you want to?
No, I think we just wanted to normalise prayer, because I think sometimes you can think of it as being this big religious thing that you can only do in church. And it's not a weird and wonderful thing. Like, I can just say, oh God, I'm really struggling today. Yeah. Can you help me with this? And it's literally just as basic as that. Like you just phoning a friend and going, oh, I've had the worst day ever today.
Yeah.
Or even, oh my goodness, I've got some amazing news. Something amazing has just happened. Having that ability to be able to speak to somebody 24/7 like that can shift a burden, and it's also really exciting to be able to share really good stuff with somebody as well. Like Jonathan said, like I can speak to Jonathan can speak to me about stuff, but sometimes it's nice. Sometimes there are things you don't want to speak to anyone about, or you can't quite verbalise them, or the stuff in your mind you can't quite figure out, but you can, talk to God in those bits that you can, and He can make sense of it all and help. Whereas a person would be completely confused by what you were going on about. So I think it's just normalising it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just really simple, and it's really easy, and you don't have to, say, "Dear God."
No. You don't have to use these big fancy posh words. Sometimes you see it on TV, or you've been in the Church of England church or a higher church, the Reverend Lord, and they don't have to do any of that stuff.
I literally just talk to God all day long.
Yeah, I remember when I was living in Leeds. I think I was telling somebody else this story. I used to take the dog. I'm not going to use the word because he's down there for a W-A-L-K, and we're at that point. And that was my time, because at that point my life was pretty hectic. I couldn't talk to anybody, and I used to walk around the park, and talk to God all the time, and just sometimes loudly. You know, I was by myself, and just, you know, God. Sometimes it's out of anger. You go out and want to scream out there and whatever.
What are you actually doing?
What are you doing? You know, that type of stuff. And I remember this old lady coming up to me one time. She said, "Are you okay, dear? I just want to ask if you're all right." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'm all right." She goes, "Well, I have noticed you quite a few times." I guess I can't remember if she's have a dog or whatever. She goes, "I've noticed you a few times talking to yourself and walking round. I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay." And so I started laughing. So obviously she thought I was some sort of crazy person or whatever. And I said, "Look, it's fine." She said, I just said, "It's fine, you know, I'm talking to God, I'm praying." And she just went, "Oh, that's nice, dear. Well, I'm glad you're okay." I think probably thought, "Oh my goodness, we've got a fruitcake." It's went, "That's nice, dear," and then off she went. But I thought it was nice that she just wanted to kind of check that out. But I guess what we're saying is, you do it in the car, in the bathtub, while you're on the toilet. You know, that's my quiet time half the time is on the toilet.
Yeah, he disappears for like an hour when he goes down the shower. I don't know what on earth he does in there.
Well, because I just sit, I pray, I talk. You know, in the shower I sing praises, because praise is another thing, and worship. You know, when I'm out in the car in the mornings, you know, find some space as well.
It's hard to do that when you're a parent.
Yeah, well, of course it is, and that's why I said you've got to find. If it's 5 minutes in the car on the way to Sainsbury's or whatever, or half an hour,
the supermarket,
or, you know, exactly. Whatever it is, it just gets some time. We're not saying, "Oh, I have." You know,
we must have an
hour a day. You know, I mean, that's fine if you want to build it up to that and do that. Then great. Some people do that. I mean, my grandma, she did. She was a prayer. She was to get down on her knees and she'd pray for people. But again, she's retired. She had time to do that. She'd pray on her knees for people and for their needs and for, you know, that's who she was. Yeah. So, you think what I'm saying, life is busy. Build it into your life. Make it a pattern. You know, if you want to grow in your faith and you want to grow a relationship with God and you want to see great things kind of form and happen in your relationship with God, then you've got to do that and you've got to put some time and energy into doing that. And I guess that's pretty much the same as reading the Bible. But guys, we're not pointing a finger and going, "Oh, we've got to do this and you've got to read that," and so much time and this, that and the other. It's not about that. We're not a religious people. We're not finger pointing people. What we're saying is this stuff works and it helps and it grows you as a person and it grows your relationship with God and it's going to help you. Yeah? And that's where we're from and that's what we're saying and that's what we're doing, you know?
So that's it.
So that's basically it. In a nutshell, like I said, we are going to put a video on. It is
give it a watch.
It is from Alpha. Don't go, "Oh, you know, heard about that, blah blah blah." You know, just give it a go. Give it a watch.
What have you got to lose by giving something a go?
Give us some feedback on it as well. I'll be interested to see what your thoughts and feelings are on it. We're going to do that a little bit more with some of our stuff. It's good to hear from some other people as well. But hey, there you go. So we're encouraged. We're out tomorrow. Food barn.
Yeah, food barn Monday. Back around again.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? So we are out.
There is this week and there's next week.
Yeah.
And then the following one, we are not here. So
Yeah.
I will remind every week.
Okay,
I have put a post up on the food barn page. I will remind every week because life gets busy, doesn't it? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we hope you have a fantastic week. And we'll see some of you tomorrow. But if we don't see you tomorrow, then we'll catch you at some point on here.
Yeah. Be blessed.
We hope you have a great week.
I will let you know things as they happen and as
we'll keep you in the loop as we can.
So pray about it. Talk to God about it, because you know maybe you got a different perspective, and there's things that you want to see out of this as well. So do. Yeah. Okay. See you later.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.